Okay, here we go. We are coming through to the last PR. We got Glaciate on the menu. Again, just in case anybody didn't watch any of the other ones, just gonna put it out there once more, one final time, that it doesn't really matter where you are ranked in the order, because I think probably anyone can beat anyone, and also we're not very good at the game anyway, so our rankings are probably shit, as we discovered with Bolt Strike. They were a complete sham. So hopefully today will be a little bit better. I'm JK, and with me again, Blue Fusion 321.
Hello.
And Kuma.
Hello.
The one and only.
Kuma Goat.
Okay, so let's kick things off. Number 16 is Lord Arcanine. Now this is done with a pinch of salt, because he did make a transaction just yesterday. Unfortunately, the voting was already done, and we probably should have had this recorded a little while ago, but we didn't. So what you're seeing on the screen is not his current team, but this is what we voted it based on. Instead of Terra Staraptor, Blaziken, and Pikachu, he has Terra Komodo, Honchkrow, and Magnezone. And I don't know about you two, but I think personally that Terra Komodo is way better than Terra Staraptor. And Pikachu was never coming to any game anyway, so I see this as a win. And what do we think?
It could have come to a game. Don't diss the Pikachu, man.
If it had been Terra, I would have respected it.
You
I
can.
actually don't know. Does it still get fake out?
Yeah.
Okay, then
It might get fake out, but it's still pretty bad in Paldea decks. It needs.
It's really bad.
It needs
To be clear,
to
it's
be a
really
Nandex.
bad. But it gets extreme speed still, doesn't it?
No, it doesn't.
No.
Not until
Oh, okay, never mind. Don't use it then.
Yeah.
Bad. Yeah. Anyway, the actual team that Lord Arcanine doesn't have Pikachu anymore. Let's talk about it. What do we think? Because
I think Terra Komodo is like one of the better Terramons available. I need to see what their current draft board looks like to see what's currently in the free agency. But I think it's a pretty solid pickup for his team. When his two old tier captains were Hydrapple and Staraptor, there's no like offensive pressure with either of those, in my opinion. So picking out a tier captain that applies offensive pressure is a pretty solid change.
yeah, I think so. I mean, you're kind of relying on Scarf Staraptor to show any like immediate offense
Which really just
in that scenario.
it's fine, but it's not as reliable because odds are you're running Terra Stab just to increase the damage output.
Yeah.
So you're taking probably 25% Rock's
Yeah.
chip.
Yeah. What I do like is I know that this team, I mean, thankfully it has Komodo now, so it does have kind of a high tier Terra option. I think that does bolster its offenses a lot, because currently in this iteration that we voted on, I talked about it a little bit, there was none of the 4 top mons in the team could Terra, which I think is just a terrible idea in PAL decks, because having a really strong Terra is really important. So that's good. I think that Latias and Blaziken work really well together, so I'm slightly sad to see the Blaziken go, but it probably didn't work amazingly with the rest of the team, like Ogerpon.
His team, so the current team that he drafted, not the one with transactions, it's weak to quite a few types. Fairy, especially even with the changes he made, it's still super fairy weak. Picked up 2
Hmm.
fairy weak mons if we're not counting the Terra. Um, so 2 fairy weak mons. He did pick up a Magnezone to help out with resists, but apart from that, your 2 resists are Hearthflame and Fortress is not real. So
I've seen a lot of Fortress slander. You did it in the Bolt Strike video, Kuma.
I did.
And I don't like it because
for
I
a very
don't.
good reason.
I think that
It's not a steel type. It is not.
it is.
It's
it
not.
Is, it is. It is. It is. It beats Valiant.
Is Fortress taking a Moonblast?
It beats Valiant.
Is it switching in on a Specs Valiant Moonblast?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
There we go.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, Specs Val kind of
Um,
cooks the team alive.
But not with Magnezone. Magnezone, I really like.
Not
I've
with
got it in
Magnus.
my draft. I think AV Magnezone is really cool. I would not recommend running. What's the ability called? Magnet Pull. Jesus Christ. I would not recommend running Magnet Pull all that often because it's pretty easy to prep for with like Shed Shell and things like that. A lot of the steel types don't really care about getting trapped by Magnezone now. Even like Fortress, it just Volt switches on you.
Well, I mean, I think you always just want to run Analytic, because that's a stupid ability for Magnezone.
It's really good, and I think it complements Darkrai very nicely. Because I think you are right, it was a little bit fairy weak. It's nice to have something that is really good into a lot of the fairies that can lay out some good special damage for Darkrai to potentially. You could even then maybe free up Darkrai to run Scarf or something if you wanted. So I think go on.
One thing that's a bit odd to me, and so I think after transactions, this team has 4 dragon types. Vadius, Hydreiple, Dragalge, and then Como, which is kind of crazy.
That is crazy. Yeah, that's yeah.
I mean,
a little
it's
tricky.
it's not an awful typing just because of the amount of common resists the dragon type has for it. He resists all 3 elemental types. Well, all 4, which those are very solid types to resist, although I don't think it synergizes well with your Darkrai. Obviously because of the fairy weakness.
Yeah. I agree with that. I think Kamaro, though, is an important pickup because it gives you a rock resist, which currently he does not have in this team.
That's a very good insight, actually.
Yeah, and his flying matchup was also abysmal before, so getting Magnezone for fairies and flying types and also dragon types, very good. Because I don't think I've ever seen a type chart have a negative dragon type matchup before.
Yeah, I don't think I ever had.
Which is like crazy.
Well, I mean, I guess that is what happens when you draft 3 dragon types.
Yeah. But yeah, I think the transactions were a good choice. And I'll hope that you cook.
My last comment is just, why do we have this particular water type on the team?
Yeah, Dondozo is an odd.
I do think Dondozo isn't very good.
It is an odd choice. I don't know. I mean, even something like Suicune. I know Suicune's kind of a meme in Gen 9, but even then, I think Suicune is like a bit better than Dondozo if that's available. I think probably a different water type. You're right, would be a lot better. I think that's maybe why we voted it quite so low, because it doesn't. The defensive pieces and the offensive pieces didn't really seem to fit together very well.
And yeah, Suicune is free for the same price, so
Oh, well, there you go. I would
I
recommend
would say
that.
Brayon, which gets you more
Oh, yeah.
utility, I guess.
Yeah, Vaporeon's good. Flip turn, always good. Yeah. Okay, shall we move on to...
Mhm.
I'm going to assume it's catty because it's got a little accent. One of
I
those
think
little...
is it not just cat?
It could be cat,
You
but
have to-
I like catty.
I
I think
presume
that's
it's
cool.
cat.
It could be. Regardless,
Well, we can have Jakar call it what he wants.
yeah,
True.
I'm doing the video. I get to decide what I want to say. Where were we? Catty. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think if I'm remembering correctly, we decided that this team is kind of a little bit odd and random, and
It's a little underpowered.
yeah,
Where's your
There's
big
like
guy?
3 mons that want Terra on this team that don't have Terra.
I
Yeah,
think
there's
that
a non-Terra superior.
non-Terra
Iron Moth
superior is fine.
completely fine without Terra.
I am of the exact opposite opinion of you. I think that Iron Moth almost needs to have Terra to function as anything other than gimmick mon.
That is crazy to say.
That's me, but that's me.
I think it's fine without Terra, but it just becomes a really solid mon having the ability to
I
Terra.
mean, just having the extra coverage and getting out of your quad.
It's so called ground weakness. It's so good with Terra.
It is good with Terra. I'm not disagreeing.
And I know you're not disagreeing, but it's what I think is it's way better than Serp with Terra. I think Serp is a massive Terra hog, and it's not even that good with Terra, because it needs it for coverage. And then
Yeah, it does.
Kilo, I know you hate Kilo without Terra. I think it's fine without Terra. I think it serves a purpose in this team without Terra because it gives it a nice speed tier above 115.
Yeah, I think on this team, I'd agree that, well, Terramoth also is very expensive for this team, but I think it fits the team probably better being Terramoth and standard Kilo.
Yeah, and I think we can probably get rid of Haunter to do that with, because is it a rapid spin blocker? Like really? And to add to that point, the even if you absolutely desperately needed a spin blocker, which I guess if you're running Eviolite Haunter, it might be okay at that.
Why would you run that though?
Yeah, I know. It's still really frail. But even then, your hazard game is super bad because Karuk doesn't love running rocks. And Kingambit.
Karuk's a great rocker. Karuk is a great rocker.
It's pretty good, but it's not incredible. And well, you're gonna run Stealth Rock on Kingambit? Maybe in one game you can do that.
Yeah, Kingambit as a rocker is a kind. It is kind of a joke.
You can run it as like a Stealth Rock T-Wave like utility guy, but that's better in that deck when he has knockoff.
Knockoff as well, yeah. And I think Araquanid is also kind of just a little bit weird on this team.
Here, like this team doesn't really need webs. It's actually pretty fast.
Yeah, I think the speed tiers are one of the best parts about this team. In fact. So
it just feels like a random, just jumble of mons.
I think there are a lot of mons that are in a vacuum good, but I don't think the synergy is quite there. I think we'd love to
round 2 audience.
Yeah.
Stop round 2ing this Pokemon.
Yeah, it's not really round 2. You are correct. Don't get angry.
I'm
It's
not getting
okay.
angry.
Always so angry. No, yeah, I think you are right, and I think probably there's got to be a better spinner than Avalok available. And
Does anyone have Komala?
I don't think so.
Kamala Harris.
It might be. They might do.
Komala is the savior.
Real. So I kind of feel like what this team is kind of going for is like screens setup, but like I don't think it's outfitted to do that.
No.
There is like Terra
No one has
Ursh.
Komala. It needs to be taken.
There is the Terra Ursh to run that Trailblaze Swords Dance on your screens, I guess, but that's already 2 move slots, so that's probably Surging Strikes and then either CC or your Terra coverage.
Yeah.
Which I
this
think if screens is the play. Oh boy.
Yeah, Klefki is also really weird on this team.
Yeah, I think that.
Well, I guess you can run like CM audios.
You can. I think Latios and Urshifu and Moth are like pretty good with screens. I don't know that Crocodile gets that much value out of screens.
It can run bulk up.
It can run bulk
Really?
up. It can do that. I think that inherently in my head, Crocodile and Kilowattrel, in particular, are like a lot more balance or bulky offense oriented, rather than like screen type of offense. You know?
Yeah.
I also feel like the King Gambit is kind of weird when you have a steel and a pretty solid. But you have a steel and then Crocodile.
Yeah.
Already, I mean it works, but like, why?
Yeah. I do get it. King Gambit is
added.
good.
It is good. It is a robbery Pokemon.
Yeah.
You do have to respect it in the build here.
You do. But yeah, it is a little bit odd. I think probably Araquanid, Haunter, and Avalugg aren't doing anything particularly.
Yeah.
Especially Araquanid, like the other niche it has is it hits really hard with water type attacks. Except you already have Urshifu, who hits really hard with water type attacks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. Go on.
I think Serp is also like kind of awkward here. I mean, it's fine. It's a decent grass type that's kind of bulky, but it's just that's annoying to deal with. Yeah.
What I will say is I think that Glare Spam is very good for this team.
It is.
So there is that. I think Glare Spam is really, really good for this team. I think it enables a lot. So I will say that. I think that there's a few things that can be changed to make the team feel a little bit more together, a little bit more cohesive. I think the big ones for me is Haunter, Avalugg, and Araquanid have to go. Get a real rapid spinner, even if it's bad.
Like Komala.
Like Komala, yeah. Like your guy. And then something else. I don't know. You could, if there's a cheap ghost type, you could go for that. Or you could get something that has like good, like something that alleviates Crocodile's rock roll or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, should we move on?
Yeah. They call me Gage. And we will. There's a lot of mid.
I see shades of Tamafuyu in here.
There is shades of Tamafuyu in here. There's a lot of mid-tier Pokemon here.
I was gonna say this team is very unimpressive to me.
We round 2 Terragarg. That's a choice.
Yeah. I do like
This is Glaciate.
Terra Crown, and I
Terra
think
Crown's good, yeah.
I think with Grim having Dragapult and Terra Crown, and Volcarona, and also even Mamoswine, all good with screens or like parting shot support or something like that.
Thunder is also good under screens.
Yeah, it's true. I think Pex is really bad here because this is a very offensive team.
Compression.
It is good roll compression, but it's done in such a awkward way for the team.
This team does want to just constantly have momentum, just hit you a lot, and then you have two momentum suckers with Garg and Tox.
I think Garg is fine. I think Garg works on offense because it forces respect in the builder, even though I don't think Garg is like that good. I think it's decent on offense.
I don't think it really needs Terra on this either.
I do think that Lilligant or Thunderous would be better. Yeah.
Terra just go crazy here.
Yeah.
Also, there's no spikers on this team. So, like, your hazard game is not the best, and your only removal is Defog on the Lilligant, which really does not want
That's not really
to slot
removal,
that.
is it? Yeah. I'm just going to take a quick look at the draft board to see if there's anything that might slot in better than Pex. Tentacruel is gone, which is a shame because that would have been perfect.
Tentacruel always.
There's
pretty early.
There's Quillfish available.
Yeah, Quillfish would actually be quite good. Quillfish
I think
would
it
actually
fills
be
a
quite
lot
good.
of the problems on this team.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would. It has flip turn hazards. It has the same roll compression as Toxapex.
Yeah, without being a complete momentum sap. I think that's a good shout, and maybe you could get a cheap spinner of some description.
Kamala Harris.
Yeah, may I suggest Kamala, maybe?
Maybe a certain koala.
Is it a 1 pointer? How much
It's like
is Kamala?
two. It's like 2 points or something.
Is it? It is 2 points. I think actually that works out perfectly, unless I'm incredibly mistaken for the points. But regardless, yeah, I think that would feel a bit nicer. More hazards, less momentum sapping.
And then maybe change the Terra from Garg to Thunderous.
Yeah.
You don't have to, but it would be cool.
Yeah, I think that's a good shout. I think it's definitely has potential, this team.
I just think this team needs to keep up keep the momentum, because I think in terms of like immediate offense, I don't really think it's there.
Yeah, it's. I mean, you got Mamoswine, which is kind of all right. Yeah, I think you are right.
But like, that's all there is.
You need to play quite aggressively with this team. I think you're right. But I do think that it's a decent like Gen 9 looking team. It looks like a Gen 9 team, barring maybe the Pex or maybe the Garg. No?
Yeah.
So I think it's off to a great start. Should we move on?
Yeah.
To Meowdoria? I can never remember. It's because I want to say Midoriyama, because that's the famous mountain from Ninja Castle. Not Ninja Castle. I said Takeshi's Challenge and then Ninja Castle. Ninja Challenge. Oh, I don't. How? What am I?
Challenge.
Oh my god! I said it again.
Classic.
Oh, okay. Whatever. I'm ending it. Ignore that reference, and focus on this team instead. which is
This
quite a decent team.
has my Terra captains.
Which is not a great start. If you hear this team has Blues Terra captains, be worried.
Okay, to be fair, Terratron is fine. It's just shit on my team.
I think they're both good Terra caps to be
They're both
completely
good
transparent.
captains.
This team
I
is
will
the
say,
most pure typings I've ever seen on a draft.
yeah. I will say if Shock's Terra's an any type that's not the ground type, any electric type has a field day.
Yeah, this is true. Electric types are really good into this team. Really good.
Yeah. They will just spam Volt Switch as soon as that Sandy Shocks Terras.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Your team gets eaten alive by Regieleki. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. I mean, you probably run like Terra Ground Torn into that as well.
Mm-hmm.
But regardless, I think that it has good offensive pressure. I think it has decent speed tiers. I get that the Glaciate and the Porygon are there with like the Florges maybe as some kind of like
It's like a
end game room.
It's like a semi-trick room team.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like you could have made it a lot better though.
Yeah.
Probably.
Because I think that Urshifu can also work on Trick Room, weirdly.
Honestly, if you were gonna do like a mini room thing, honestly, I would rather just see the Glaciate have Terra.
I was thinking that too. I think Glaciate with Terra would be better than Sharks on this team, probably. Because I don't think you want to Terra Sharks very much.
I think Shocks will be doing a lot of defensive stuff, a lot of hazard setting.
Yeah.
Maybe screens once in a while.
Yeah.
This team is also pretty fire weak. I would say fire is not a very good type to be weak to. I think it's one of the most spammable offensive types in the meta. So
it is reasonably fire weak. I do think though that with Blastoise and also Shocks, who outspeeds crucially Chi-Yu, which is good. And then you got Florges and Porygon and Pecharunt. You have a lot of neutral, really bulky neutral walls here. So I don't think you're like that worried about fire. But I do agree that it can be scary if you're not careful.
I mean, I think that's true, but it's just something to take note of, I think, for everybody else who will play this team and for Meow.
I like the idea of you just being like, yeah, run fire into this guy. Yeah. No, you are right. It is something to think about, maybe. To ruminate on. But I mean, it's not a bad team. It's a little bit weird. You got maybe a little bit of momentum being lost on some of these picks, like Registeel and Lorges, but I think this team has a lot of good tools.
I agree. I think on my end, it's just these teams are sort of fine. It's just that they feel just kind of weird, I guess, and like they don't look like exciting teams that you'd find sort of in the higher skill divisions, I guess. Just lack of synergy, I guess, is how I would kind of put it.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that there might be a theme with these teams, that there's good Pokemon with maybe a couple of decent synergies, but the team synergy is maybe lacking a little bit. It's always better to focus on roles rather than the purely the type chart.
Typings.
Yeah. So that's maybe something just to keep in mind. Should we move on
Yeah.
to
On to
Leaf?
the mono ghost type.
Yeah, I mean, there is an Ursaluna, so it's not quite Mock Ghost, which makes me a little bit sad.
I mean, I think most of the solid ghost types went.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. Presumably, because you get 3 rounds in, and this person's picked 3 ghost types. You're probably thinking, "Oh, I might need to pick up a ghost type real quick." This is potentially why we've seen Haunter so far. To be honest with you, I forgot that this team existed. Yeah. I don't really know what
Why do they have an Ursaluna, by the way?
thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, Mono Ghost team. Here you go. What do you want to say about it?
I just want to know why they have an Ursaluna on a mono ghost team.
He's trying his best.
That's not a ghost type.
He's trying his best.
Ursaluna doesn't die. It's not real.
Does that mean the ghost Pokemon are real because they've died?
Yeah.
God. With that haunting revelation, I don't think there's much more we can say about this team.
Yeah.
I
don't think we can really judge this team, I guess, because it's not a standard team.
It's surprisingly okay. It does have spikes, and it has a few spin blockers. It has a few.
It has a few.
Foggers is nice.
Yeah, a couple of defoggers is good.
They unfortunately did not pick up Pecharunt, so they are weak to toxic spikes.
This is true. T-Spikes are really good here.
Especially if
someone get Gengar before they
Ape.
Yeah, for Ape and Dirge.
They do not like T-Spikes.
Really hate having T-Spikes up. So this is true. Yeah. Yeah. Gengar, I think you were saying it might be a
someone took it. They took it super late.
Oh. Fucking Gengar, joys.
Well, whoever had it, I think Cat had it. Hope they drop the Haunter at some point.
Haunter can't absorb T-Spikes. Just levitate.
Levitate, yeah.
So yeah, you might get owned by T-Spikes a bit. And also by any dark type.
True. They do have Ape though. So they have 2 months, they have 3 actually that take that hit.
Can take
kind of neutrally.
A single hit, yeah.
True.
The type chart makes me giggle though.
The type chart's really funny, isn't it? Yeah, should we move on?
10 ghost types.
To Kowtow.
Yeah, this is also Turbinator. I know their name is separate from their tag in Discord.
Yeah.
They're called Kowtow for some reason.
Kowtow / Turbinator is a...
So this is the second pairing of...
this before of Gouging Fire, Hammerot.
Yeah. We saw it in Fusion Flare. I think Aaron... No, not in Fusion Flare. Probably in Bolt
I think it was Bolt Strike. I think it was Bolt Strike, yeah. Who took Gouge? My precious children, I can't remember. But yeah, I think it was Bolt Strike. It was 5th or so pick Gouge. Which is, as you said before, is a very oppressive physical offense combo.
I think the Slow King feels kind of out of place on this team. I mean, it's a slow pivot, which is...
He got a Sand Slash.
Never not bad. True, for the Sand Slash.
And the
But-
Rotom.
And there is a
Okay,
Rotom yeah.
but that's a Rotom.
Actually, if no,
I'm sorry.
Do not disrespect Rotom Frost.
Rotom Frost in snow? That is gonna win a game.
Do not disrespect, dude. If this Cyclozar is not Terra and this Rotom Frost is Terra, I promise you, bro,
Yeah,
this thing
yeah.
would get a 6-0. I
Yeah.
promise they'll get a 6-0 1 week.
I fuck with that. That's actually a great idea. I don't think Cyclozar is like that good of a Terra on this team in
Yeah, I
particular,
don't
but
know
also
why we have Terra on sick.
it's like a low tier Terra. It's like really good in low tier where 121.95 with shift gear is like terrifying.
Yeah,
But-
and then you can run Terra normal double edge or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I don't think it's good in high tier Terra. And I think Rotom Frost with Snow or even Sandslash with Slow. That's
Yeah, either
Sandslash
either
is
one of
not
your
real.
either one of your ice types with Terra would be
That-
much better than
that could really
Cyclozar.
fuck. Yeah. Oh, I like
These speed tiers are also kind of egregious.
that. Yeah.
I think Rabombi
think-
is a little
I-
odd.
I think
It's
it's
a little odd.
not great here. I understand that maybe it was trying to patch up the speed tiers with webs, but I'm not certain really what takes advantage. I guess Lando T really
Lando
likes
and
webs.
Gouge. will
I'm not
take
even sure
advantage of
Gouge
it.
likes webs that much.
Not
don't
that
think-
much because it's already boosting already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll help Specs Gardevoir.
It will. This is true.
I guess it helps like Rotom Frost too.
It helps everyone, but I'm not certain that it's like that good. If there's something you can get which is maybe like 105 or something, because you don't need a Fairy type either. So if there's
Mhm.
something you can get that's around the 105 region, maybe that has like spikes or rocks, just to free up Lando and Sandslash, because you're not bringing Sandslash to every game.
Sandslash is not cutting
It's-
rocks.
And it's not setting rocks or spikes really either, because the normal Sandslash could, because it's ground type, but Ice Steel, it's gonna get killed. So something around 1.5 that has like rocks or spikes, if something like that exists, that would be really cool.
It does exist. It's probably taken.
Probably. But it's something to think about. Just to make it a little easier to build with, because you might find that
This
this
game has-
gives you some headaches.
3 mons that quad resist fighting, which I think is kind of funny.
It
This
does.
team also has the most taunt users I've ever seen in my life.
How many have we
True. 6.
got? Ooh,
Got
6.
Although I
Delicious.
don't think you run taunt on like 2 of them.
No, you
No,
don't.
don't.
They're slow.
But yeah, I think it's a decent team. And I think Terra Rotom is my suggestion as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
Terra
that's a good
Rotom.
idea.
Alright.
Terra Rotom, it'll cook. Trust.
It will cook. Let's move on to Mickey.
I can
Oh,
team
no.
seriously
Okay.
because there's a Terra
Look,
Core.
I don't like. I know he gave a reasoning as to why he terrored the Corv. Stop. I don't believe you. Just don't terror the Corv.
You don't need Terracorv. You have Hitmontop already as
Pop
secondary.
is it actually really good?
It's
Terra
good.
Captain.
It's also just a good spin.
It is. Eh,
It's
And
serviceable.
the hounds-
When you
It is
need
serviceable.
spin, it's serviceable, and when you've got Corv as well with Defog, I think it becomes good. Corv doesn't get O-code, apart from by like Chi-Yu and Regieleki, like Spexaleki or something probably O-codes it.
yeah.
But in those cases, first of all, you have Chi-Yu. Second of all, rather than using the Terror on Corv, you can just use an Ockerberry or a Wackenberry if you're
Yeah.
like really scared, and then you can put Terror on either Gliscor probably or Okie Dokie
I
maybe.
score or Okie Dokie or Hitmontop. Hitmontop gives you, if you Terra Hitmontop, then you have a really strong priority user.
You do.
Mhm.
Yeah. You actually do. Because
These speed tiers
technician
are
goes
also
hard.
funny.
Terra Steel Bullet Punch, Terra
Yeah.
Fighting Rock Punch.
You raise a good point, Blue, that the speed tiers are they
Your top
leave
speed
a little
is
something to be desired.
Your top speed is essentially 100, which is
Yeah.
something.
You don't want to be forced into running Scarf GU, and you don't really want to be running max speed Gliscor a lot, especially without Terror.
Mhm.
I think that I don't know how much is Smeagol, like 3 points or something.
It's like
yeah,
it
something
has to be like
that.
2 or 3.
Three or two, or something like that.
Yeah, I think that
It's 3. Yeah.
you've got to have. It is 3. Yeah, okay. You've got to have. I mean, you really have to have something faster, even if it's something like Raichu, to take the pressure off of Gliscor, like another electric immunity. That would be cool. It's not a good Pokemon, but
It would technically give you a flying resist, another one.
It would technically do that.
That will probably take like 50%.
Yeah, it would, but it might not die, and it will threaten the flying type back, which is key. Also, just whilst we're here, a better Terra Captain than Corviknight.
I think
Have we said that enough?
you could point to any other mod on this team, and it would be a more sufficient Terra Captain.
Even
than
me.
Corv.
Even me.
Yeah. Even Slowking. Although that's maybe debatable.
Real.
I think stored power
They would
Slowking
both
is maybe slightly better than Power Trip Corviknight, but that is a competition
Maybe
worth
a little bit.
thinking about.
They're both equally useless as Terra Captains. Let's put it that way.
Oh man. So yeah, if you can think about your speed tiers, because it is really scary at the moment, those speed tiers. And if you can think about getting a better Corv than Terra, a better Terra than Corv, I think that's probably the headlines here.
Yeah, the fact that the Ogre Pawns can all run Adamant into this team is crazy.
Yeah, it's really scary. It's really, really
Especially
scary.
when half of them just own this team.
They do set this team up.
Yeah. Wellspring is gonna eat you alive, bro.
Yeah. Okay. That being said,
Justin.
Raichu is good. And yeah, Justin. It's just in time. It's just in time.
I thought we moved. All right.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Yeah. Why, Justin? Why have we got Terra Kings?
But guys, Terra Bug first impression.
Terra Bug first impression. Terra Dark Knockoff.
Why?
Terra Dark Sucker Punch.
Why have we got Gingino?
He does have a Dawn to him, but like,
Chinchino's
Justin, where are your
for the copium speed tier.
Yeah, it is a copium speed tier, and Justin also doesn't have any hazards, and I also think that Ludicolo is kind of not real, even on rain.
I think it's okay. It's a shitter, but it's on a rain team, so it's fine.
I think that you don't want it because you've got a Moongus anyway, and yeah.
True.
I don't know. It's hard, this team. I'm glad Donphan is on this team because I've seen too many rain teams recently that have bad hazard control, and it's not good, especially when you've got Dragonite.
I feel like Enam is like kind of out of place on this team.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Like, it's fine. I just don't think it synergizes with much, and it's like, isn't it 17, 16 points?
Yeah, it's quite expensive. I think it's
16.
16, yeah, because it costs
I
9
will
for Terra.
say, Azu is
No,
free.
isn't it 19 points?
No.
No, it can't be 19. That'd be crazy. 16.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
16.
yeah, you're right.
But there is Azu that's free. So if Enam is just here for the fairy type, there is Azu,
Yeah,
which complements a rain team. Oh, it's just, it fits a rain team a
yeah,
lot more.
it does. I think you could really seriously consider that and getting rid of Ludicolo and Chinchino and getting
Mhm.
a real Pokemon that's around 110 or something, or 115. Maybe a Hazard Setter.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, you just run Terra Water, Choice Band, Fish, and then click
Yeah,
Liquidation 6 times and win.
yeah,
And if that dies, you have a there's a whole ass Palafin that
yeah,
clicks Jet Punch. Um,
yeah. I think I think the main thing is the hazards. You gotta have hazards. You need to have
yeah.
hazards because otherwise you just get switched on constantly. You aren't punishing
Hmm.
switching at all, which is really bad for a weather team.
Yeah, I think you definitely need more hazards. I feel like another form of hazard removal wouldn't be the worst thing on this team because you have 3 flying types. One of which you really don't want to run boots on because you want to run um the
Rock, damp rock, or whatever.
the damp rock. There's also a low kicks which you rather run choice band on, I assume.
Yeah, most of the
Um
time.
so potentially some other form of removal could fit this team kind of well.
It could, yeah. I think you're starting to run into a point issue there, maybe. But I think you are right that you could consider it. It's definitely something to consider.
It's not like a huge issue, but like half the mounds on this team take 25% from stealth
Yeah,
rock,
yeah.
which is not good.
So it's something to think about for sure.
Alright.
Yeah, let's move on. Let's move on
Um
to Sylvie Ann. Is it Sylvie Ann?
We'll find out. Anyways, the top 3 just kind of win, and then I don't know what happened.
Do you remember when we were watching this draft happen and we were
Yeah.
like, oh my god, how did they get
And then we saw
that top 3?
Terraclad.
Is it Terraclad or it was?
No, wait,
It was.
wait.
Okay.
Was it? Is it? Did they just not pick another Terra Captain?
I guess
I'll check again. I'm pretty sure they took Terra off Clad.
there was one mistake in the Fusion Flare video, I believe, where someone had Terra Cert.
There's only one Terra Captain, which I mean it's Terra Zarud, which I don't think another Terra Captain is needed in this instance.
Yeah, you're not desperate for it for sure. I like Alomomola on this team. And I like Tinkaton a lot.
Aloe is good. It's a very pink team.
It is. The back end certainly is.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the top 3 just kind of win the game for you, and then the rest is just support, I guess.
They're along for the ride. I think that Clodsire can hopefully go. If there's another ground type or another poison type, I think that would be better than Clodsire because it's such a momentum drain on a team which is like fairly offensively geared, which is good. Offense is good in Gen 9. Like that's why Tinkaton is good because it has good mixed bulk and a decent speed tier with great utility and a great typing. So I think that's a great fit for this team. And I think he could really you could really play offense well with this team.
It's- I kind of would, if they can get a slightly cheaper poison, Terra the Galar Moltres, and like, I don't know, drop the
Could be good,
Bayonet
but
maybe.
you do definitely need. Oh no, you don't. What am I talking about? You've got Tusk. Okay, I'm very uncertain as to what Clodsire is doing here. Then
It's for spikes, guys.
it's for it
Trust.
does.
I think it is. I think it is just here for hazards.
Yeah,
I think
hazards
so,
and
which I
granite
mean-
poison. Yeah,
It's kind of copium, but I don't think it's like the worst thing in the world because spec appreciates hazard stack
yeah,
a lot.
it does. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can see it working. I just wish that it didn't have to.
I agree with that. I think it's such a huge just momentum
Yeah,
drain on this offensive team, which is not good.
Bros just sits there and does nothing, and
Mm-hmm.
I think it's only highly priced because on a like bulky, like a slower paced team, it is quite good because it does have unaware and hazard stack. But I think that this is not the team for it. So yeah, I think you're right, Kuma. A cheap poison and a I don't know, a hazard set.
Probably
Cheaper
hazard
poison.
stacker, I guess.
Hazard stacker, and then like, I don't know. I don't know if you need to tear the Moltres. You probably don't. You're just tearing Zarud 100% of games.
Yeah, most of the time you are. Yeah.
All right.
The top three is terrifying. Is the headline?
Yeah.
Top, I think.
I really don't know how people prep for this. How do you prep for this? I don't know.
It's crazy.
Hey, just. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Let's
don't.
move on, so we don't have to look at the egregious top three anymore. To Caltech.
I think this team is very solid.
This
Round
is
three
a
Vesper is
yeah. I think solid is the perfect word for it. Kuma.
getting Terra Teal Pond this late is kind of crazy.
That
Same
is-
with Quaquavel.
Oh, yeah.
They're,
Yeah.
This whole
do
team is
think-
weird.
I think this order could have been a lot better. Like first pick Rillaboom is a little
I think-
strange.
Well,
Anyway,
I think this was the wheel, right? So it was
This was the
Rillaboom
wheel.
Sneasler,
okay.
which is like
that makes
not
sense.
terrible. It's not like a bad first two.
If only it was.
Yeah, it's
If only it was Terra Sneasler.
Oh, my beloved.
If only.
Oh,
those Terra Sneasler would probably be the most broken 1-2 ever.
Why is Avalugg on this team?
the most broken 1-2 ever.
Why is Avalugg here actually? You
I
have
think-
2 spinners already.
I think Bro's here for moral support because it's not doing anything. It's not coming ever unless you like.
I think it literally is only just making your type chart worse.
I was gonna say that this is a stroke to kind of look at.
Yeah,
A
I
lot
mean-
of red.
if you could get, I don't know. I don't know what you would get instead of it. It's 1 point, isn't it? Keep it. Who cares?
Surely. It's
It's-
like 1 or 2.
It's
yeah.
it's just terrible, which is fine because you're not bringing it because you've got Rilla Sneasler, Terra Heatran, Terra Tealpon, Quaquaval. Yeah. Fuck it, it's fine. Leave it there. That's your mascot.
I mean,
Um,
if you want to, well, no, because you need 9, right? Yeah, this is
Yeah.
9. I was toying with the idea of taking Terra off Heatran and dropping Avalugg to see if you can Terra Quack, but you need 9.
Yeah, you get 9. So I think this is probably the best
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna get. I don't know.
Say,
Although, in all honesty, I think there are better one-pointers. I think my favourite one-pointer is still there, Golem, or Alolan Golem, who has Sturdy and rocks, and therefore is a
Explosion.
good lead. Yeah, an explosion. Exactly. You run rocks, sturdy, and Custap Berry, and explosion.
But yeah, I think we've entered, I think, with Sylvian, I think we've started to enter the sphere of the teams that are actually pretty solid.
Like, yeah, really scary.
Yeah.
Should we move on
In
to
this div.
Vic Man 05?
This is the guy that stole Gengar from Milk.
Oh, it is. Preeminently.
Yeah, we have a very like Gen 5-ish sand.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah.
Apart from Cinderace, I think every mon is prior is from
Gen 5 or
5 or
earlier.
prior.
Yeah. It is. It's
Which
just
is
funny.
crazy.
First pick Cinderace is a little funny.
It
Yeah.
is, but we
Following it up by
got
Clef.
Drill T-Tar, and Clef does work on sand. I think sand is like the one time that I don't hate seeing Clef's dumbass face.
Well, Clef's healing is also
Why
dog
are
shit.
you
in
a
this
hater, bro?
Did you say Clef's healing is
Why
dog
are
shit in
you-
sand? Oh yeah, it doesn't have soft boiled anymore, does it?
Yeah,
Oh,
game.
yeah,
It's
it doesn't.
Moonlight.
It only-
Gen
like,
9. Fucking hell. Jesus Christ.
Why are you such a Clef hater, Jakar?
It's just Gen 9 Clef. I love Clef in my favorite Gen 6. I think it's great there.
Oh, of course.
But who doesn't think it's great there?
It's like 40 years old.
Shut the fuck up. The old guy isn't even with us. Yeah. I think that it's got good offensive pieces.
This is straight out of Gen 5, man.
Yeah.
I will say it is solid, I think.
Stand team, you have Cinderace. Your hazards are your Spiker. I should say your Spiker is kind of bad.
Yeah.
True.
I don't know when
This
you're
is
bringing Cactan.
I hope he does.
you
I
need a
hope he
water
knows.
resist.
I hope he knows that Sandvale is banned.
Oh yeah, Sandvale is banned, by the way. We can't use Sandvale. Before you bring it to a match and we have to...
It
you
comes when
forfeit.
he faces Wellspring.
Yeah.
Brother, that
I
shit is
think-
getting play rough into oblivion.
Yeah, that shit is getting player up. That shit, to be honest with you, is getting power whipped. I don't know how to
True,
break it
actually.
to you. It's 70-60.
It'll actually just die to an Ivy cudgel. It'll just get 2 KO'd by Terra Water.
It's got water absorbed, isn't it?
Oh, it does!
Yeah, that's why I was saying
You're
it
a
comes
fucking noob,
against
man.
Wellspring.
Oh my god, you're right. I'm such a goober.
I will say
what's
the
this
top
shit called?
3 are like kind of weird. If we're going
I
for a
think
stand
the
team,
order-
they all
I think the
work,
order
but it's
A
just.
lot better.
You could have
People had
totally picked
weird
up.
first picks in this division.
Yeah, you could have totally picked up some insane round 1 abuser, because I think there was a lot that was left after round 1.
What place was this guy? He's like middle of the pack or something, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
The tail end. It's like 13th or something.
Yeah, I think
12%.
it is slightly lacking the guy. Terra Drill is kind of the guy.
Can be the guy.
Can be the guy. Terra Lucario is not the guy. Never the guy. Unfortunately.
I mean, it's fine. It's there for when you fuck up and you hack your drill super
I could have had
super early
Terra.
on.
Good at Terra's what?
He could have had Terra Raging Bull. Looking at like.
Oh, you're looking.
Yeah,
okay,
Raging Bull
well,
went like round 3 or some shit.
yeah,
Well,
it
no,
is what it
this
is. We're here. We're here now, and I think it's a fine team. I think that
I do think
Terra
it's
Drill
solid.
T-Tar is always good. I think that Clef is good on this team. I think
Yeah.
Metagross is good on this team.
I think all these
Yeah.
pieces fit well together.
Yeah. I think it's maybe a little bit underpowered, but I think that it's a decent team. It's got decent synergy.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't really have
Yeah,
any
you'll
major
be
issues with it.
relying on Excadrill to win your games a lot, but it's fine.
Yeah.
That
It
is
can
true.
win a lot of games, though. It can win a lot of games. So
It
that's not the
does.
end of
It's
the
a
world.
very stupid mod.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now it's stupid. Oh, what happened to hating on Terra Drill, Blue?
That can
He's
still
a fickle
happen.
man. He's a fickle man. You know who's not fickle, though? It's Jimothy J. With a
Jimothy J.
solid
True.
lineup like this. And what a name
This
Jimothy J
guy-
is.
This guy is my goat. He left picks.
He
He's
did
such a good
change his team a
drafter.
bit.
Yeah, he has, hasn't he? This is true.
Yeah.
Let's
Because
Let's see.
so I saw the transactions before I looked at his team, and I was kind of worried that he dropped like one of his main mons, but no, he just has Iron Valiant and Terra Ogre.
have you seen what Caltech has just done in the transaction live update? We've got Caltech making a transaction, and that's a really bad transaction.
How did he do?
He got rid of
dropped
Terra
Heatran.
Heatran and made it Lando I with Terra Tinglu instead.
That
How did he
is
do that?
pretty bad. That is
Heatran like
pretty
held
bad.
that team together in
Yeah,
terms of
Heatran-
resistances. I'm pretty
Heatran
sure.
did. Yeah, he now doesn't have a fairy resist.
Okay, Jimothy, he dropped the Lando Eye that just got picked up,
Oh
the
no.
Bronzong, the Mousehold,
He
and
gets
the
like
Lantern.
infested by ice types too now.
And then he picked up
does.
Uxie, Terra Ente, Belly Bolt, and Ditto.
Can we posthumously move Caltech down?
No, I don't think we can.
Well,
Okay,
this
yeah.
will be
Well, we get
pretty
Terra.
funny.
So sorry. Yeah, back to Jimothy J. This is Jimothy J's segment. Well, it's not Caltex. We've done Caltex.
Look, he'll take it back after the PR's release.
Yeah.
Real.
If
He'll use
he
all-
watches
all
this
his
evening
transactions
and
that's in his
reverts
team.
the transaction, I think we let him have it. Yeah. Although I think he's GMT, so he's probably going to get to bed soon. Anyway.
Yeah, I
yeah.
was
So
kind of worried that they dropped the Lando Eye because I thought they lost a good portion of their offense in doing so. But like, they have Iron Veil and Terra Wellspring. I
I think
think
this team's fine
they're fine.
offensively.
Yeah.
If Iron Val, Ogre, Terra, Water Pawn, and Weavile, I think they're fine.
Yeah.
And they added Terra Ente.
Yeah, Terra
Which
Ente is really nice, I think, for this team.
Yeah.
Let's give extra priority.
Yeah, always
That's
good to
not
have extra priority, and I think that having a fire type is pretty nice for this team.
Yeah, something to hit the grass types is nice.
I think
That's
honestly,
not a
I think
Weavile.
transactions are very good.
Yeah, I think they're pretty good. I think they're pretty good. I think they were well done. Ditto is a funny guy.
Ditto
Mhm.
forces. He just forces prep. Like any setup guy has to run sub.
Yeah.
Well, true.
Yeah. Like even like Spectre is scared of
Yeah.
Ditto. So I think that's a cool pickup. I think that this is a cool team, even with the transactions. I think they work well because we've discussed it in other divs. I don't think any of us are particularly big fans of Terra Lando I.
Yeah, I don't think it.
I think
don't
it's
think it
fine.
needs it. It doesn't need it at all.
Yeah,
I
it's
agree.
obviously not like bad or anything. It's fine. It's just like I do think that Terra Ente works better on this team. I think that was a cool pickup. It's nice to have a fire type with this team. It helps Weavile and Ogerpon a lot. Yeah, I think it's cool. I think it's a cool team. I think I have a lot of fun with this team.
Yeah, I'd draft this team.
You would draft this team.
All right. Next
Especially
up is
after
a very fun Sun team.
For Uxie.
Yeah, this is a cool team.
Oh no, He has Torkoal Scar.
He does have Torkoal. Torkoal can go. This is not one of the Sun teams.
No one
where
else
you need
has Nine
Torkoal.
Tails, right?
I assume not. I don't know why you would.
Yeah, no one else has Nine Tails. Yeah, drop Torkoal and get Nine Tails, please.
Yeah, it is just better. You already have Glim and Bramblegast for your like cope hazard removal.
And you're definitely completely fine on the rocks department.
I don't know what Blissey is doing here.
It's a Blood Moon check.
It is. I mean, you do have
Has
Scar.
anyone drafted that Pokemon? Actually?
Yeah, they have. I can't remember who it was. It was like Kowtow or something. It was
yeah.
Kowtow.
they
I'm
picked it
gonna
like
go.
midway through.
Let's go.
How do you remember the Glaciate guys better than your own people?
I just looked at these. I just looked at it. This team is weak to ice, but it's a Sun team. So do you care that much? Probably not.
So the ice will all melt away.
The ice
I think,
will melt away.
Like Paracaps are very like classic. We've
Yeah.
seen them before, and like FPL,
Yeah.
Jason has these.
Yeah, they're good. You could consider Venusaur if you're not really vibing with Slitherwing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sylveon is like fine.
Sylveon's fine for this team. I'm okay with Sylveon if you get rid of Blissey.
True.
Blissey.
There's
Sure,
just no
yeah,
need for
I
it
can agree.
because Sylveon is already so specially tanky that you don't. And this is a weather team, right? You really cannot lose the momentum on a weather team. Even Skarm, I'm like a little bit questioning because it saps momentum.
Yeah, I don't think Scar should be here.
Unfortunately, this ain't
actually,
the right.
This team actually, that is a flaw. That you say that. This team has like very little pivots.
Yeah.
Very little.
I think if there is a way of getting rid of Skarm, I hear Bronzong's free. Maybe isn't better than Skarm, but I'll tell you what it does do. It resists ice, and it has explosion. Kill ourselves for momentum. We're a big fan.
Run a check button or something.
Yeah, it can run a check button. Has rocks.
Let me see. There's a Scream Tail.
There is a whole ass Scream Tail. This is true.
There's a Scream Tail.
Why do we have?
You should get that.
Yeah, you should get a Scream Tail. Yeah.
Sylveon and Blissey when there's a Scream Tail.
Yeah. Scream Tail is way better than both of them. I don't think you even have like a dark weakness, do you? No, you don't. You don't have a dark weakness, so you don't like need a fairy. What else?
I mean,
Dragon.
There's there's Cresselia as well that's open.
Oh, this
Cresselia on Sun is kind of dumb.
It is very dumb.
It is dumb. It is dumb.
This team could easily be like top.
Yeah,
two.
get rid of honest to God, get rid of Rhydon. Get rid of Brambleglast. It's shit. Get rid of Blissey. Get rid of Sylveon. Get rid of Skarmory. Get rid of Tarkle.
Just get like pick up Dreamtail and Cresselia.
You can keep Brambleglast because it does have Rapid Spin. You are correct.
Yeah, you can keep Brambleghast. Like pick up Screamtail and Cresselia and Ninetales, and you will be like completely vibing.
You are cooking.
I don't think they'll have the points for both, depending on how they do things. But
yeah. I mean, you probably need a ground type as well.
There's not too many pivots around.
Screamtail is really good, and you should get it.
Yeah, you should.
You should.
If you get anything, you should get Screamtail.
Screamtail and Ninetales
would be fantastic on this team.
Yeah, and get rid of Blissey to do it. Probably Sylveon. Right. Anyway.
Yeah, a weather team without pivots is kind of rough.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
your main pivot would be Slither, I guess, but
yeah, it's like
that's
you
not
just
the
U-turn
best.
between Roaring Moon and Slitherwing, which is like actually not that bad apart from into fairies.
That's not bad, but I think you want your sun abusers to be staying in on the sun instead of just constantly
Why do you have Wake? The top
pivoting
three are
around.
all pivot. Yeah, you do want them staying in, but you also are fine with them clicking momentum. But yeah, you are right. You probably want a pivot
I
something.
guess like what's it called? Can work.
Probably, yeah.
Scream can work as a pivot because it gets
Yeah.
baton passes.
It does,
It
yeah.
gets pass.
So yeah, I think that those would be good moves. Should we move on?
Yeah, if he does those moves, this team probably becomes top 2. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, it does cook. So this is Red Mist.
Hello, Red Mist, our
big
resident yapper.
chatter, yeah.
Resident yapper.
Farming activity. That's how you get let into the big leagues. That's how I got let into MLP.
You just talked a lot.
Yeah, that's because on a complete unrelated note, I saw the when I became mod, I obviously saw the applicant opinions, and it was like, yeah, this guy's like whatever, but I'd love to have him in the league because he's a great chat presence. That was about me.
I hope so.
Yeah.
We're getting off topic.
Completely off topic. Back to Red Mist. We were the ones yapping there.
I think Red Mist team is pretty solid. You have you have Snow plus Excalibur.
Yeah, it's
and Bundle.
8 mons that all work well
And
together,
Bundle.
plus a Toad Scroll.
I'm not mad about the Toad Scroll because it's not his only spinner. He has treads, and it's not his only spiker.
Yeah, it's an okay mon in this team. It is not as bad as it normally is.
It is a ground. I think he got it as a ground resist.
Yeah, probably.
I do wish he had another Gur, though. Treads does not like to run rocks very often.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think
but yeah,
this is like a stupid offensive team.
Yeah, this is very hyper offensive.
And we love that.
Probably gonna see a lot of below the tail leads and just backs kill shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Backs is his dumb man.
Yeah, A-Tails and Backs and Bundle.
And then Terra Gold is also
Terra Gold.
really annoying.
Zapdos just fucking hits shit.
Yeah. Scarf Gyaptos will just revenge anything.
Yeah. It's a good team. I like this team.
Yeah, it's a really solid good.
It'll be a lot of fun to use as well, I bet.
Yeah.
I don't think that's much news to be said, is there? It's just
not really. Team speaks for itself, really.
Yeah. Ironically. Somewhat ironically. Anyway, here we go. Number 2. Is it Habane? Is it Habane? Habane?
That's how I say Habane or Habane.
I like
something
Habane.
like that.
If it's not Habane, I think you should consider making it Habane. It's a cool name.
Okay, buddy.
Habane. Anyway, this team is pretty similar to what Manu is looking to get with this first top 3.
See, the thing is, I chatted with Manu because I said I liked this team a lot, and he told me he helped him craft this team. I think in Grace. So I was gonna say, that makes sense.
He actually asked me earlier before we played our match today, Blue. He asked me what rank we gave Harbonnet. And I said I couldn't remember. And I said I couldn't remember. But number 2, and it shows it's a good team. It's got Greedent. I think is this the only div that has Greedent?
Probably. No, I think Freeze Shock has it.
Freeze Shock might as well. Yeah.
Veil has it.
Veil has it.
Yeah. So let this be a lesson to all the other divs. Greedent is a good Pokemon because Spectre is a good Pokemon and Greedent is
Dude,
reasonably
fucking
pretty.
Matthew Brewer in fucking Gen Chat yesterday. He's like, I hate that Spectre gives value to my opponent's 2 to 4 shitter normal time.
That was pretty funny.
Oh yeah, but it does because Spectre is really good, despite what Bolt Strike and Glaciate players may try to convince you.
Says.
Terragran, really good. Terra Thunderous,
Mhm.
really good. Sarina
Awesome.
is a pretty decent spinner.
Very good spinner.
Um,
Solid utility as well.
yeah, you got
Very
great.
good. It's a stretch, but it does what you want it to.
It's a decent spinner. It's got great pivots. This team. It's got great.
Very good pivots.
It's got great hazards. Good, like decent hazard control.
Yeah.
It just looks like a good team.
Pretty
It's like
solid.
it's like a complete team.
His Terracaps are very strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing I could maybe criticize about it is that there's no mon above 110. And what I've found in FBL is that Infernape is just like slightly too slow a lot of the time. 108 is like really awkward. It doesn't feel great to use it sometimes, but that being said, it does feel great as a lead. It's a really good lead, and in the mid game, it's good. It's a good scarfer, I think, as well.
Yeah. I decided to not prep for Infernape because there was nothing I could reliably bring to counter it.
Yeah, that is the thing. I think that's why it's so high, is because it is slightly too slow, but it's really versatile. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun this team.
Oh yeah, I think once he figures out how this team kind of flows, he'll start to see massive success with this team.
Yeah, big time. I think that's all there needs to be said about it. It's a fun team, cool team, really cool team.
Anyways,
let's move on to number 1.
Onto the other team with 3 round 1 picks.
It does kind of have 3 round 1 picks.
This team is disgusting.
It's Big Bart.
Dude, I don't know how he caught this team. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah,
bro.
It was a pretty
This team
funny
is
thing.
dumb.
Meow, Raging Bolt, Terapagos, bro. Like,
what I will say
doesn't go undefeated, I'm gonna be sad.
What I will say is that it has shit hazards. I think it has bad.
It does have shit hazards. It has pretty bad hazards.
I think that we maybe don't love Flygon. It's okay.
Yeah, Flygon without Terra is pretty rough.
It's kind of like whatever. I think that we don't love Lilligant. I don't see the value of Lilligant here without Terra on a team with Meow anyway.
Yeah.
It's not even bulkier than Meow.
His features are also...
You can probably pick up like a 1-point spiker or something.
I would be down with that. May I suggest even Golem or a low Golem? I'm a Golem propagandist. I think that is good.
His speed tiers are pretty rough.
Yeah, they're not great. I don't know if you can get something
honestly
better than Flygon.
If he replaces Flygon with Sandaconda, I would like that personally.
I also would like that, and then you could get something. How much is Sandaconda compared to Flygon?
It's like probably like 9 to like 4, if I had to guess.
Where is Flygon?
Flygon is 5.
Flygon's 5.
Sandaconda's 3.
And Sandaconda's 3.
Okay, and is Lilligant 1 or 2?
Lilligant is...
It's 1. So you get an extra couple of points to play with there. There might be something like even like a Sneasel. Am I crazy for suggesting Sneasel?
You get like 3 points with that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sneeze will be alright.
I think Sneeze will be okay. I think it plugs the gap pretty reasonably well in the speed tiers, and it's not a mon that you can completely discount or anything in the builder.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I agree.
Sneasel's probably fine.
But yeah,
But I think,
it's the top 3, isn't it?
yeah, I don't think the speed tiers on this really matter when like Raging Bolt and Terrabagos are like.
Yeah.
I don't think speed matters as much with these 2 mons.
Yeah, especially when you have good priority in Sizzle and Arcanine. It's not a desperate situation by any means, but I do like the idea of getting Sandaconda and Sneasel or something like that. I think that would be cool.
Yeah, it would be pretty cool.
But yeah, good building. Good job, Bart. I think that's it. I think that's everyone.
Yeah, we did it.
That's all of the PRs done. I had a good time, personally.
So did I.
Kuma didn't, by the sounds of it, but that's okay because he did them anyway, and that's what we're about.
Okay, man.
So
We totally
thanks.
did not force him to hop on the call.
So thanks for watching. Thank you both for joining me, and to Spice for joining us before. It was a shame that we couldn't have Justin around for any time.
Yeah,
that would have been cool, especially for Glaciate. That would have been nice. But I hear he's planning big things for the weekly recaps, so there won't be any shortage of Justin content. Thank you very much, everyone. Everyone. In the whole server. Apart from Manon. And I hope that you have fun playing matches. I hope it's a good season. It should be fun, I think. We're off to a good start already. First week down. I'm looking forward to more. See you later.
Goodbye.